Welcome back to Investing Talk podcast. We're so glad you're joining us today for another look into the markets. Today, we're tackling a question many of you might be asking. Is Ford Motor Company a good time to buy now? We've gathered an incredible stack of sources for an in-depth analysis of this automotive giant. Before we dive in, if you're finding value in our discussions, please hit that subscribe button, like this video, and maybe leave us a comment. It truly helps us bring you more of this content. And hey, if you're feeling generous, consider buying us a coffee. Every bit helps keep this analysis going. Also, if there's a specific company you'd like us to look into, just drop its name in the comments below. Okay, let's unpack this for Ford Motor Company. We'll be looking at everything from their latest financials to future catalysts and potential risks. Joining me, as always, is our resident expert to help us connect all the dots.
Absolutely. And what's fascinating here, I think, is that we have a company with such a long history navigating a massive industry shift, a really fundamental change. Our sources provide a pretty comprehensive view, allowing us to assess its current position and future prospects for you, the investor.
Let's start with the basics then, Ford's recent financial performance. Our sources highlighted their Q2 2025 results. What do those numbers tell us?
Well, the Q2 2025 report shows Ford pulling in $42.5 billion in revenues. Now, that's a healthy 5% increase year over year.
Okay, 5%. Sounds decent.
Yeah, it's solid. Net income for the quarter stood at $2.26 billion, with an operating margin of 6.4%. And looking ahead, their full year 2025 guidance projects revenues between $160 and $165 billion. They're anticipating slight improvements in operating margin, too. So it paints a picture of steady, albeit moderate growth.
Steady but moderate. Okay. But what about their overall financial health, particularly debt and cash? That's always a big one for manufacturers.
That's a really important question for any company like this. As of June 30, 2025, Ford had $41.8 billion in total debt. Now, that combines both automotive and their credit segments.
Right.
However, they also reported a significant cash and equivalence balance of $27.4 billion.
Yeah.
So quite a buffer there. Importantly, their operating cash flow year to date was $7.9 billion. And free cash flow, that was positive at $2.33 billion.
Positive free cash flow is always good to see.
Definitely. And management is explicitly prioritizing debt reduction. They haven't raised fresh equity, which suggests a focus on internal strength.
Yeah.
Using the cash they generate.
So they're generating cash, focused on managing obligations. How do they stack up competitively? I mean, the auto market is just intense.
It really is.
Yeah.
And if we connect this to the bigger picture, Ford ranks among the top 3 U.S. automakers by volume. That's still a powerful position. They hold significant competitive advantages through their established brand. I mean, Ford is Ford. Plus an extensive global dealer network and a diverse portfolio. That portfolio covers both internal combustion and, crucially, electric vehicles.
But I sense a but coming.
Well, yes. The sources also clearly indicate intense competition, not just from traditional rivals like GM, but also from new EV manufacturers, Tesla, Rivian, and others. And Ford's own EV transition is very much ongoing. That transition, of course, is a key piece of the puzzle here. Huge piece.
Okay, so let's talk about valuation. When we ask, is it a good time to buy, those metrics are crucial. How does Ford look on that front?
Right, valuation. From that perspective, our sources provide some pretty compelling ratios. As of late August 2025, Ford's PE ratio was 8.9.
8.9. How does that compare?
Well, the PS ratio was 0.34 and PB ratio at 1.2. Now, when you compare these to the typical automobile industry median, you're usually looking at a PE of maybe 10 to 13.
Okay.
PS around 0.4 to 0.5, PB near 1. So Ford appears modestly undervalued by those historical sector standards.
Modestly undervalued. Interesting. So potentially attractive price point relative to peers in its history.
That's what the basic ratios suggest, yeah. And what do the more sophisticated models say, like the DCF ones?
Yeah, what about those?
Exactly. Recent discounted cash flow models from major brokers. They suggest an intrinsic value for Ford, just a bit above its current trading range. These models generally assume, mid-single-digit revenue growth, some margin expansion as EVs hopefully become more profitable, and a moderate adoption rate for electric vehicles overall. So it kind of reinforces the idea that on a relative basis, Ford seems attractively valued against its sector peers, if those assumptions hold, of course.
Right. Assumptions are key. Beyond the fundamentals, let's talk about the stock's price action itself. What do the technicals tell us about current momentum?
Okay, looking at the charts, Ford has been trading between roughly $13.90 and $15.10 over the past couple of weeks. Pretty tight range. Key levels to watch. Major support seems to be near $13.50. That's a floor it's had trouble breaking below. And resistance up at $15.50. That's where selling pressure tends to kick in. The 200-day moving average, which gives a sense of the longer-term trend, is quite flat, sitting around $14.20, which, lines up with this recent consolidation.
Flat trend. And what about indicators like RSI and MACD? What are they showing?
The RSI is currently at 52, so that suggests pretty neutral momentum, neither overbought, no oversold, really just in the middle.
Okay.
The MCD indicator is slightly positive, but it's not showing a strong trending movement either way. Volatility has been, let's say, low to moderate. So overall, the technical trend is described as sideways, only modest upside momentum. So for you, the short-term trader, it's not exactly screaming buy or sell based purely on momentum right now.
Sideways. Got it. Now, here's where it gets really interesting, I think. Beyond the numbers and charts, what recent news and sentiment are shaping Ford's outlook? What's the buzz?
Well, back in July 2025, Ford announced expanded EV production plans and also a new partnership for battery supply. Analysts generally viewed that as a long-term positive. Shows commitment.
Makes sense.
The consensus from major banks currently rates Ford as a hold, though you do see some buy ratings out there. Those often cite the low relative valuation we talked about, and also the dividend yield, which is attractive for income investors.
And crucially,
There haven't been any major analyst downgrades in the past 60 days or so. That suggests a level of stability in how Wall Street sees them for now.
that's good to know. What about insider activity? People inside the company buying or selling? And just general sentiment, like on social media?
Yeah, good question. Recent insider activity looking from June to August 2025 actually shows net insider buying, particularly among top executives, according to the SEC filings.
So interesting. Executives buying.
It often signals confidence from those closest to the company, right? Putting their own money where their mouth is. Social media sentiment? It's not overwhelmingly bullish, but it's described as neutral to modestly positive. There's a lot of discussion around Ford's EV transition, as you'd expect.
Right, the transition dominates everything. Okay, every investment has potential catalysts. What should we be looking out for with Ford? What could move the stock?
Okay, catalysts. For the short term, a big one is the Q3 2025 earnings report that's scheduled for October 28th. That could definitely move shares, especially if their EV segment results, maybe profitability or deliveries, exceed expectations.
Right, earnings are always key. Anything else near term?
Another potential near-term catalyst is the launch of the new F-150 Lightning model. That's expected in late September 2025.
Ah, the electric F-150. That's huge for them.
Exactly. The F-Series is their cash cow. So a successful launch, strong reviews, that could generate some real positive buzz.
And for those with a longer investment horizon, what are the bigger picture catalysts?
Long term, we're really looking at the full-scale rollout of their next-generation EV platforms. That's anticipated between, say, 2026 and 2027. That's the big strategic play. And then broader factors, of course, potential U.S. regulatory changes impacting EVs, shifts in the auto market driven by interest rates, supply chain stability. All that will play a significant role.
Makes sense. Of course, no investment comes without risks. What should potential investors be aware of? What are the downsides?
Absolutely. From a stock-specific perspective, the primary risks are pretty clear in the research. Number one, execution risk in their ambitious EV transition. It's a huge undertaking.
Can they actually pull it off profitably?
That's the core question. Second, ongoing supply chain unpredictability. Chips, batteries, materials. It's still a factor. Third, potential labor cost escalation. Union negotiations are always part of the landscape for legacy automakers, and the company itself expects continued margin pressure from launching new products and just fierce competitive pricing, especially in EVs.
And broader market risks.
Yeah, on a broader level, you've got market and sector risks. Things like fluctuating interest rates affecting car loans, swings in consumer demand tied to the economy, international trade policy changes, commodity price volatility. These impact all automakers, including Ford. It's a complex environment.
Wow, okay, so summing it all up, what does this mean for you, the potential investor in Ford Motor Company? It sounds like a real mix.
It is. Our sources, taken together, give Ford an overall rating of about 6.5 out of 10.
6.5 out of 10. Why that score?
Well, the rationale is that Ford is financially solid, it does appear modestly undervalued, it generates respectable free cash flow, and offers that reliable dividend. Those are real positives. However, and this is critical, substantial uncertainty remains, primarily around the pace, and importantly, the profitability of its EV strategy. And those longer-term margin pressures aren't going away soon.
So if you're asking, is now a good time to buy? What's the final takeaway?
Based on the analysis, the investment horizon suggested in our sources indicates Ford is perhaps best suited for short-term trading right now. Playing the ranges, reacting to news like earnings or the lightning launch given its current sideways technical picture.
And for long-term investors.
For long-term investors, there may be value, yes, particularly at this valuation, but comes with a strong recommendation. Closely monitor that execution risk, especially on the EV side, and keep a very close eye on the ongoing industry transformation. It's definitely not a buy-and-forget stock in this phase.
That's a crucial distinction for our listeners to consider. The automotive industry is clearly at a massive crossroads, and Ford is right there in the thick of it, trying to navigate. We hope this detailed analysis has given you a clearer picture of Ford Motor Company. Thank you so much for tuning in to Investing Talk podcast. We'll be back soon with another exploration of the financial world.
And remember, the real opportunity often lies not just in understanding today's numbers, but in trying to anticipate how a company will navigate these profound shifts happening in its entire industry. How well Ford executes its EV vision, that ability to build and sell electric vehicles profitably at scale. That will ultimately tell the story for long-term holders. That's the real narrative to watch.